Hello, this will be a channel message for you, for your highest good, and I trust that it found you at the perfect time. I really appreciate you being here with me in this moment, and as always, I love you so much, and I am so proud of you. I feel like I'm talking to somebody who is very empathic and very able to tune into other people's energies and frequencies, and we're letting something go here in this space. And I feel like something has happened to trigger a shift back into your own energy. It might be like a particular song. For many of you, a particular smell or a fragrance, which has like shifted you back into your own energy and you've made contact with yourself again. I'm talking to somebody who's really looking at themselves with more acceptance, no matter what. Like, it's like an unconditional sense of self-acceptance, which is allowing you to take some kind of a risk here. Even if it's small, take some kind of a chance on yourself, put yourself out there or something is what I'm getting. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So you taking these little micro chances, there's still some kind of like, there's a trusting in this process that we're developing now, just by showing up and doing it. Getting the repetitions in, I think, is really important right now. This sense of self-acceptance is so beautiful. It's gonna take you really far. This was the next stage of the plan, is what I'm getting. Something about your higher self dropping this information into your system at the perfect time. And it's going to allow you to move forward a lot more freely. So now we can interact more with the divine and open up that communication that we have with our guides and start to move into a different, like a mindset, a different mind space that asks that question, you know, if I knew I would be supported, what would I do? If I knew that everything was conspiring and being planned to work out exactly in my favor for my highest good, what would I do? What choice would I make? What action would I take? And this is something that we can affirm to ourselves. Everything is working out for me for my highest good. Every day in every way, I get a little bit better. I trust myself a little bit more. I take the right action. Everything is aligned for me for my highest good. And let's have some fun with this. Let's see where this path is taking us. I get answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? And it's your soul. So you're going to know what this is. You're going to feel it in your body. You're going to feel it in your heart, in your gut, in your sacral chakra. There is a soul calling that is coming forward. It's big stuff. You're being asked to trust your path and walk away from something. With the Eight of Cups here. Sort of came out sideways, right? So there might be a little bit of these doubts coming forward. Am I ready for this, is what I'm hearing. And I'm here to tell you, absolutely. You're so ready for this, guys. This is the next stage of your soul's journey. The movement towards the dream life, walking towards the sun. Look at this card, right? Away from this little... It's interesting because there's one cup that's left here. It's almost like we know on a soul level there is something beyond this horizon for us, and it is so beautiful and it is so authentically us. Whatever we're walking towards, it's made for us. And what we're leaving behind are 7 cups that have fallen below the surface. There's one over on the side here that is like, you can see it's basically in the drink. It's gone. And there's one cup that's left here with a little flame in it, with that spark. And that's the thing that is creating the friction. That's the thing that we got to walk away from. Yes, there's a little bit of potential in this situation. Yes, there's a little spark, of course. But we're being asked to trust our path and trust that there is something beyond this horizon that we can't necessarily see right now that is made for us. Pisces energy. Saturn in Pisces. So working through some fears here, working through the unknown, being asked to trust in the divine and use this divine support that we have available. All big Piscean themes here. Something about asking questions too. Asking questions. Make sure you're asking the right questions, being really curious. If you're not sure of something, there may be a tendency or a habit to just jump in and put a lot of pressure on ourselves to solve that problem. We don't have to do that anymore. We got all of this divine support. So instead of jumping in and trying to solve the problem with that human mind, with the logical brain, let's just take that breath and ask the question and be curious. And make sure that we're taking the right action when we do get that call, when we get the soul knowing, right? There's a need to initiate. What I'm getting, really interesting message here, we're asking the universe, which is our reflection, we're asking that to be more responsive. It's like, I want something, I'm in the vibration, I'm living in the end, can you please be more responsive? So how responsive are we to that call? Because that's the reflection, right? When we get that call and we got to trust the path, how responsive are we to that intuitive knowing? Do we take that action that is aligned with our instincts? Right? Really interesting message there about responsiveness being reflected. Yeah, and I get the 9 of Wands, right? So we're still healing. We're healing. We've been through a lot. It's been a big year. My goodness. I'm right there with you. 9 of Wands frequency, the world-weary warrior. I love that. Shout out to Sarah Verber. That's not my terminology. That is all her. And I love the 9 of Wands because it's an ending. It's number 9. It's a completion. It's a knowing on the masculine side of your energy. So the way that you're taking action right now, maybe feeling weary and exhausted, but knowing that you're moving into a completion when it comes to the fiery energy, your vitality, that life force, that spark, the passion that you have for life, your creativity. And I don't get like a defensive feeling, which tells me that you are alchemizing, you are healing, you're expanding. Sagittarius energy. And it's an emotional process that's happening here because the 9 of Wands is the moon in Sagittarius, and you're showing up in this 8 of Cups Piscean energy, right? So there's so much emotional development happening here, healing the emotional body, healing the nervous system, and the emotions, the energy and motion that is trying to flow through and travel through our system. You're creating flow on an energetic level by leaving something behind, maybe something that we have settled for or we've been trying to revive, some kind of spark that we've been trying to revive, but it's over. And there's so much more on the other side of this horizon. So we're walking forward despite feeling tired, despite feeling like we've been through a lot. Guys, you are trusting your path and answering that soul calling and healing in the process. And there's no rush here. We don't have to push, and we're not going to miss out, is what I'm getting. We're not going to miss out. Just got to consistently and patiently take those steps forward, and I'm hearing every little thing is going to be all right. My goodness, how's that for a download? Every little thing is going to be all right. Just keep taking those little risks. Keep taking those little chances on yourself. When your heart is saying, yes, this is for me. I need to put myself out there. I need to speak my truth. I need to show myself. And you get the tension in the system, and it's like, oh, it's a little bit scary. I'm moving through the unknown. I've never expressed myself in this way before. You're doing it anyway. Guys, I'm so proud of you. If we just keep showing up and doing that consistently, every little thing's going to be all right. So supported, even in these divine pauses. Like, there's been this message, I mean, just so frequently, and I feel like this has just been a thing for a couple of years since Saturn has actually been in Pisces, trusting that pause. These little micro trust falls and feeling suspended in time and space. Like we're looking around and there's nothing going on, and we're so used to being on the move, being on the go energetically, getting things done, being productive, learning something new, seeing physical progress and results in our reality. We're so used to that, constantly moving. And now we've been through this like major story arc, this initiation where we've had to trust that empty space is safe. That pause is safe. And now we're kind of moving on to the other side of that and realizing, not only is that pause and that empty space, not only is it safe, but it is heavily encouraged by spirit. It is nourishing for my body and my soul. And as I learn to relax into that pause and that empty space, 11:11 on the clock as I say this, as I relax into it, bam, the life emerges. The new seeds, they start to sprout. I get that inspired idea. I just get that knowing. I get the energy to move things forward, right? Rest is non-negotiable right now. I'm talking to somebody who knows this, who sees the importance of self-care and rest and taking these pauses and moving at a healthy pace. Pouring energy into yourself, Ace of Cups, not necessarily being available to all of the people and energies around you. Ace of Cups in reverse, just putting that emotional energy back into yourself, being with yourself in the stillness. And I get the Queen of Cups on the feminine side of your energy. Let's go. Highly intuitive. Highly intuitive, highly in flow, very receptive, surrendering to this process. Got the hands up, right? Got those hands up and ready to receive all of this divine support, ready to receive the emotional abundance, ready to receive the physical abundance. And there's something here about your value. It's your value that has given you the courage and the inspiration to walk away from this situation that we were settling for. And this may be more than one situation. This may be a pattern in our life where we have settled out of lack and fear and not having that level of self-esteem. And it is your value that you are tapping into right now, which is giving you the strength to walk away from something. Just walk away from this energy in general. Just close out this pattern for good. You're taking yourself seriously. And I mean that in a really good way. I'm talking to somebody who's playful, creative, passionate, has that zest for life, right? I'm talking to somebody funny is what I'm getting. You've got a sense of humor about you. It's unique. People are attracted to you, right? But you're seeing your worth. You're taking yourself seriously at the same time. You're putting your foot down and you're saying enough's enough. I'm not going to settle for less anymore. I am worth so much more. I have a soul knowing that there is something on the other side of this horizon and I am worthy of whatever that thing is. And I am worthy of being supported by my higher self, by my spirit guides, by my ancestors, and by the divine, the most high loving source energy. Let's go. That's you. Walking away, pouring into yourself, embracing the stillness, closing out a cycle when it comes to your creativity, your passions, your motivations, and highly receptive as the Queen of Cups. Magical even. Dare I say, magical. Got this glow about you, right? And this, it's interesting because the spark, this little flame, it was contained. And all around it was water. You've been doing so much deep emotional shadow work. Fearlessly is what I'm hearing. Just doing that deep dive. You've been doing that deep dive. My goodness, guys. Like a bunch of spiritual warriors out here. I'm getting the word guru. But not in an egoic kind of way here. It's like you know some stuff. You know that you know some stuff, right? But then at the same time, we're humble about this. This is what I'm getting from you guys. There there's something incredibly powerful that is emerging here. But back to the matter at hand. This spark was contained in this little cup. It couldn't grow. The flame had nowhere to go. It had nowhere to go. And there's something about divine timing here, of course. Lessons that had to be learned. These situations have taught you how to take your power back. It's all negative contrast, as they say. But now, wherever you're going, there's so much freedom for this spark to grow, for this flame to grow and expand. And there's something about, like, I'm getting really excited, and these cards nearly went, like, I just was so close to just fumbling this whole thing. Just letting them fly away. So, I think coming back to this, coming back to that grounded state, and with this Gemini card on the bottom, 15:51 on the clock, coming back to that breath, and just taking that deep breath, that pause that we were saying was so valuable. Bringing that energy back down in a way, because that sparks, it's not going anywhere. You've connected with that flame. You've connected with yourself. It's not going anywhere. You're going to show up for yourself every day. I know that. I'm talking to somebody who's got their own back. So we can trust that, again, let's keep the energy, in flow. It's good to be excited, right? It's good to have fun with it. And we've learnt where maybe things have got a little bit out of control, even. It's a fire, after all. So if this thing's going to grow, we got to understand how to guide it and even still contain it in a healthy way and maintain it, not getting burnt out. Because we've been burnt before. Nine of Wands, guys. Like, we know what that feels like. We are honoring our health, our emotional well-being, creating safety for our inner child so that the shadow doesn't reject these new experiences. Not expanding too quickly. Just at the right speed here. Just coming back to the breath. It's so valuable, guys. It's so valuable, that breath. Coming back home to yourself. And that's how this reading started. Was some memory or a song or a smell triggering a connection point that you have with your authentic frequency and your energy, coming back home to your energy. And the breath can help us do that. Interesting, we are creeping up to this full moon in Gemini. Obviously opposite Sagittarius here with Jupiter underneath this Gemini energy. And what is this card that also flew out? What is it? Yeah, see, look, the Earth frequency, dude. It's the element of Earth. It's being grounded. This is being grounded. It's like the missing, it's a missing part of the equation here, because we've got the Gemini energy. We've got the thoughts, the beliefs, the breath, the movement, the flexibility. Our ability to use our intellect, make decisions. We've got the fire. We've got the passion. A bit weary, but that's okay. We'll get there. We got the emotional awareness, having respect for our emotional well-being, taking ourselves seriously and being connected to the divine, acting from that place of intuition and creating freely, creating in a way that is so beautiful and magical. And the earth was the missing piece. The earth was the missing piece of the equation. So grounding ourselves, getting that rest, spending time in nature, being practical sometimes, being, like, dare I say, realistic. Bit of a dirty word here in the spiritual community. Realistic. Mate, that's a bit limiting, don't you think? Doesn't that sound a bit disempowering? And I say, nah, man. It's good to be practical sometimes, because being practical is like listening to the body. Listening to what your health and your needs are in that regard. Listening to what your health and your body is telling you. And being realistic is kind of having that intuitive knowing, like you're so tapped in. And it's almost like being realistic is like, okay, like I know the outcome here. Realistically, I know where this leads me. We're using new tools here. There's new intuitive skills that we're developing. So it's broadening our horizons in a sense, like we're expanding what we believe is possible and expanding what we believe we have access to in terms of information. So our intuition is strengthening, and we have the ability to realistically perceive what's going to happen moving forward. We take a certain action. This is the result we get. And of course, then, it's a balance between having that Saturnian, Capricornian, Earth-like frequency, balancing that with being open. Because you're the creator here, and in some sense of the word, you're making up your own rules here. You're playing the game in which you would like to play the game, and co-creating with the divine will and universal laws. The law of reflection, right? The law of mentalism, right? These are certain parameters that we're working within here, and then creating our own rules in that system. And I'm getting that this is getting a little bit deep. So, like, if you know, you know. And I might just leave it there. And it's getting to that time where, 21 minutes, my goodness. Like, time just flies. Time flies when you're having fun, right? So, let's just wind this thing down. This is really positive, guys. This is really good. There's a message here. There's confirmation that you're walking away from something that we've settled for in the past, something that has been restricting us. And we are so intuitive and tapped in and ready to listen to our intuition and our heart space and ready to take that seriously, seeing our value. And this is giving us the strength to move forward, to move on, to move into the unknown. And trust that as long as we answer that soul calling, there is so much more for us on the other side. If we knew that we would be supported, what would we do? If we knew that we would be supported, what would we do? If we knew we would be supported, what would we do? I get share a small act of kindness. Virgo energy, very grounding, right? An act of service. Share a small act of kindness. Think about a time, funny, right? Time. Think about a time when you received some kindness from a stranger. How did this kindness make you feel? And how did it shift your outlook? Send thanks to the person who gifted it to you. Decide how you will pay that kindness forward to another person. And you don't have to go overboard here. We might be feeling a little bit tender. We've moved away from a lot. We've processed a lot. We're still processing a lot right now. We're in the Nine of Wands. And we're in the Ace of Cups in reverse, right? So we got to respect that. Doesn't have to be major. There's a really good opportunity here to share a small act of kindness. Reach out with that emotional connection, with that compliment. Donate a bit of your time to somebody or some of your resources to somebody who really needs it, guys. There's a lot of those people out there, and you're here to emanate as your beautiful, loving self. You've come back home to your own unique frequency, to your energy. Something shifted you back into your own energy, and you are an absolute gift to the world. And it's okay to share that gift with others. So with that being said, I might just leave it, guys. That was a really beautiful reading. I love that. I'm sending you all of my love as you move through this right now, and you got this. You're so magical. Check you out. Check it out, guys. Look at you. Let's go. I'm so proud of you guys. You're doing amazing. Thank you for sharing this magical, peaceful, emotionally fulfilling and abundant, grounded space with me, and I absolutely cannot wait to do it all again in the next reading. So much love to you guys. Well, peace forever. Let's go. Bye-bye.